The clock is ticking. The world keeps spinning as if nothing is amiss, yet the signs are everywhere. Something is unfolding before us. It's something the prophet Daniel foresaw thousands of years ago, a final prophecy, a revelation sealed until its appointed time. That time has arrived, playing out right in front of our eyes. But who's paying attention? Who truly grasps what's at stake? Governments rise and crumble. Wealth piles up only to slip away. Power shifts from one nation to another. Still, few pause to wonder where it's all heading. People chase after money, riches, and luxury, convinced these things bring security. But what if I told you everything we see today, our financial systems, our political structures, even the way we live, was predicted long ago? And what if I told you we're now in the final stage of that prophecy? Daniel's prophecy isn't just a dusty historical record. It's a divine roadmap, a revelation straight from God about humanity's future. For centuries, people have pored over these words, trying to unlock their meaning. Today, there's no need to guess. The final phase of Daniel's vision is happening now. Many assume they've got time. They think life will chug along as usual, that they can keep stacking up wealth, seeking comfort and living for the moment. The truth? Time's up. The final events have kicked off, and there's no turning back. The world's distracted, glued to entertainment, political battles, and economic dreams. But a storm's brewing. The very foundation of human power and control is about to shake. Only those who are awake, who see what's really happening, will be ready. What is this final prophecy? Why has it flown under the radar for so many? And most importantly, what does it mean for you? The answers lie in God's word. By the end of this journey, you'll know exactly what's coming and what you need to do. If you want to understand the times we're living in and prepare for what's ahead, subscribe to this channel now. Don't let this moment slip by. The truth is unfolding, and you need to be ready. The prophetic vision is here now. Let me ask you something critical. You're here because you seek truth, because you know God's word holds the key to what's happening in the world. This isn't a coincidence. So take a second and declare this in the comments. I choose to stand on God's kingdom, not on the collapsing systems of this world. Speak it in faith. Your words carry power. When I see your comment, I'll personally drop a heart on it. Let's go back to Nebuchadnezzar, the most powerful king of his day. He had it all: wealth, power, luxury. His empire, Babylon, was the pinnacle of civilization. Gold lined its streets, its hanging gardens stretched across acres, a marvel of the ancient world. Its rulers thought they were untouchable. But then Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that rattled him to his core. In this vision, he saw a towering statue, unlike anything he'd ever imagined. Its head gleamed with pure gold, its chest and arms shimmered with silver, its belly and thighs glowed bronze. The legs were iron, and its feet, a fragile mix of iron and clay. It was awe-inspiring, yet terrifying. Nebuchadnezzar bolted awake, drenched in sweat. This wasn't just a dream, it was a message. But from whom, and what did it mean? He called in his magicians, astrologers, and wise men, the brightest minds in Babylon. These were men who charted the stars, managed an empire's vast wealth, and wielded influence over millions. Yet they were stumped. No one could crack the dream's meaning. That's when Daniel, a man of God, stepped up. He wasn't like the others. He didn't chase riches, luxury, or power. He had something greater: wisdom from God. Standing before Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel revealed what no one else could. "This, O king, is a vision of the future," he said. "Each part of the statue represents a kingdom that will rule the earth. You, O king, are the head of gold. Your empire is the grandest, the mightiest, but it won't last." Imagine hearing that as Nebuchadnezzar. The greatest empire on earth. Temporary. How could it be? He'd built Babylon with wealth beyond measure, fortresses that seemed invincible. Picture it, walls towering hundreds of feet high, gates gleaming in the sun. Yet Daniel's words cut through the pride. The golden age would fade, replaced by silver, bronze, iron, and that shaky mix of iron and clay. The prophecy wasn't just about Babylon, it was about all of us, stretching right to today. After you, another kingdom will rise, but it'll be weaker than yours. Then another and another, until the final kingdom emerges, the feet of iron mixed with clay. It's a divided, unstable world that can't stand. In the days of those kings, a rock, not carved by human hands, will crash down. It'll strike the statue, shattering it completely. That rock will grow into a great mountain, filling the whole earth. This wasn't just a prophecy about Babylon. It was about every kingdom that followed, including the one we're living in today. Think about it. Gold, silver, bronze, iron. These metals symbolize wealth, power, military might. Sound familiar? Look at our world, obsessed with these very things. Governments hoard gold, nations battle over resources, people chase money, luxury, and success. They think financial security, political clout, or economic strength will save them. But Daniel's prophecy cuts through the noise. Every kingdom built on these will collapse. The iron and clay, that's us, a world fractured, fragile, falling apart. It's a system that can't hold. Leaders preach unity, yet division deepens. Economies soar one day, crash the next, like a roller coaster dropping 1,000 feet overnight. Wars rage, alliances fray, and people keep betting on things doomed to fail. Just like in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, the final kingdom won't come from human hands. It won't rise from political power, financial stability, or military muscle. It'll come from God himself. We're in the last stretch of this prophecy. The statue's feet are cracking. The world teeters on the edge of a collapse we can't undo. Soon the rock will strike. So are you ready? Are you banking on this world's promises, or do you see that the only kingdom that'll stand is God's? When that final moment hits, all human power, all wealth, all luxury, poof, gone. The only thing that'll matter is where you stand when the rock falls. What's next in Daniel's prophecy will shake the world, and it's unfolding right now. This isn't just some old vision locked in the past. Daniel's prophecy is a wake-up call for today. Too many see Bible stories as distant history, tales from long ago with no tie to our modern lives. They miss the glaring truth. What Daniel saw is happening now. That statue in Nebuchadnezzar's dream wasn't just about ancient empires. It's a divine timeline, each kingdom a stepping stone leading straight to us. And here we are, in the era of the feet, iron mixed with clay, the final phase before everything shifts. What does this mean? The world as we know it is in its last chapter. Governments are buckling, nations are split, alliances wobble, the global order's crumbling. The foundations people trust, economics, politics, financial security, are flimsy. Iron stands for strength, clay for weakness. Together, they don't hold up. Our world's a patchwork of power and instability. Some nations flex muscle, others limp along. Some leaders wield influence, others scramble to keep control. None can stop what's coming. Look around. Economic uncertainties sky high. Folks who thought wealth would lock down their future watch it vanish. Pensions shrinking, savings evaporating, financial markets jitter like a shaky bridge in a storm. Prices climb, gas jumping $1 a gallon, groceries up $50 a week, banks teeter, and the luxuries people crave slip away. Meanwhile, global unity's a mirage. Leaders tout peace and stability, but wars grind on. Nations clash. Trust fades. A united world sounds nice, but it's a pipe dream. Iron and clay don't mix. Daniel's vision wasn't a hunch or a theory. It was a revelation from God himself. Yet so many turn a blind eye. They trust in cash, political sway, their own grit to build a safe life. But safety in this world's an illusion. The only real security is in God. Jesus warned us in Matthew 6:19-20, "Do not store up treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy." That's not just poetry, it's a heads up. This world's treasures, your 401k, your fancy car, your big house, can't last. They're temporary, like sand castles against a rising tide. We're at the tipping point. The statue's feet are splintering and the rock's about to hit. This isn't about fear, it's about truth. You've got a choice. Cling to a crumbling system or stand with the kingdom that'll endure. Daniel's prophecy isn't a relic. It's a spotlight on today. The question is, will you see it? Will you act? Because when the dust settles, only one thing will stand. Destroy. And where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Why? Because everything in this world, money, wealth, possessions, even entire empires, will eventually collapse. So many folks are fixated on chasing riches, believing success means piling up more cash, more luxury, more power. But Daniel's prophecy lays out the truth. No matter how much you gain, it'll all turn to dust. The great empires of history, once the richest, mightiest forces on earth, are now just ruins, crumbling stones scattered across miles of desert. That's the world we're in today. A fragile place struggling to hold together, destined to fall apart. Soon, it'll face a shift no political leader, financial guru, or superpower can stop. The feet of iron and clay. That's us, right now. And what's coming next is the crux of it all. Daniel's vision says this shaky kingdom won't last. A force is on its way, one that'll smash the foundations of human power. No government, no pile of money, no earthly kingdom can stand against it. Those blind to this prophecy will be caught off guard. They'll keep living like nothing's wrong, assuming life will chug along as always. They'll trust in wealth, stability, the fleeting stuff of this world. And they'll be unready for what's about to hit. Are you paying attention? Are you spotting the signs? What's next will flip everything upside down. The world craves stability. People ache for security, something solid to grip amid the chaos. Governments scramble to keep order. Leaders toss out promises. Financial systems prop up teetering economies. But the cracks are glaring. History proves it. Every great kingdom falls, no matter how strong, how rich, how in control it seems. Their time always runs out. This time, though, it's different. Daniel's prophecy isn't just tracking another empire's rise and fall. We're in the final act, the last stage before everything changes forever. The iron and clay in Nebuchadnezzar's statue scream one truth. This world's standing on a foundation that can't hold. Just as Daniel saw, something's about to strike, a force that'll topple the whole system. The world as we know it won't limp on forever. Here's the shocker. Most don't see it. They're too busy, distracted, chasing riches, securing their own success, building cozy, luxurious lives. But what if I told you everything they're sweating for is about to collapse? Daniel 2:34 says it plain. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. It struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. This rock isn't man-made. It's not born from human power. It's divine. It's the moment God steps into history, ending the frail system people blindly lean on. Here's the chilling part. They won't see it coming. They'll keep betting the world will patch itself up, that governments will figure it out, that money will keep them safe. But the rock's closing in. The crash is unavoidable. When it hits, everything folks have built their lives on, power, wealth, influence, will vanish in a heartbeat. Jesus warned about this trap in Luke 17:26-30. Just as it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be in the days of the Son of Man. People were eating, drinking, marrying, and being given in marriage up to the day Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and destroyed them all. Catch that? Life felt normal. People were working, planning, living like always. They thought they had time. Then, in one moment, it was over. We're caught in that same illusion today. The world clings to a mirage of stability. trusting in the power of riches, the comfort of luxury, the strength of money. But Daniel's prophecy cuts through the haze. This system's days are numbered. Picture it. Stock markets tanking, prices soaring, bread jumping from $2 to $5 a loaf, gas climbing $1 a gallon. Empires that once ruled continents, with gold stacked in vaults and armies stretching miles, are now footnotes in history books. Our world's no different. It's a house of cards, trembling on iron and clay. The question is, where are you standing? Are you banking on this world's promises, your savings, your home, your status? Or are you anchoring to the only kingdom that'll last? When that rock strikes, and it will, all the treasures of earth won't mean a thing. Daniel's vision isn't a warning from the past. It's a siren for today. Time's short. The shift's near. Will you be ready? None of it will last. When that rock strikes, only one thing will stand: the kingdom of God. It's a kingdom not built on this world's riches, unshakable, independent of man's wobbly systems. It's eternal. So here's the real question. What's your life resting on? Are you chasing wealth, thinking money will keep you safe? Are you leaning on governments, expecting them to deliver stability? Are you brushing off the warning signs, assuming life will just roll on as usual? Or are you getting ready for what's coming? The truth is, you've got a choice. You can stick with a system that's about to cave in, or you can stand on the rock, the only foundation that won't budge. What'll it be? If this message is hitting home, if you're starting to see Daniel's prophecy in a new light, take a second to like this video. It'll help others catch this truth before it's too late. But more than that, think about this. What's next in Daniel's prophecy will rattle the world, and you need to be prepared. Something monumental is brewing. People feel it. The unease, the tension, the creeping uncertainty. Governments are faltering. Economies are brittle, societies are splintering. Most don't realize it's all been mapped out. Daniel's vision doesn't stop at the fall of human kingdoms. It goes deeper, revealing what's next, what rises after this cracked system crumbles. That's the part folks overlook. They fixate on the chaos, the collapse, the instability, the failure of worldly power, but they miss what's coming, something bigger. Something that'll change everything forever. Daniel 2:44 lays it out plain as day. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. This isn't just another empire, another government propped up by wealth, power, or armies. It's different, completely. It's God's kingdom, an eternal reign that won't shake, won't fall, won't fade. The rock that smashes the statue doesn't clear the way for another human empire. It doesn't leave space for more political games or economic reboots. It wipes the slate clean, setting up a rule unlike anything we've seen. But here's the sobering kicker. Most aren't ready. They're too wrapped up chasing success, piling up cash, crafting lives of luxury and ease. They want the best this world offers, blind to the fact it's slipping away. Jesus called it out in Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. This isn't just about dollars in the bank. It's about trust, where you plant your security, God's kingdom or this world's riches. Those riches, temporary. The financial systems, shaky. The economy's built on greed, corruption, deceit. And Daniel says it's all heading for a cliff. Many will be blindsided. They'll cling to their wealth, their stuff, their investments, thinking it'll hold them up. But when the rock hits, when the final shift kicks in, none of it will matter. Revelation 18 paints the picture. Babylon's fall, the world's financial and political systems crashing. Merchants bawl as their wealth turns worthless, stocks tanking, savings gone overnight. Kings mourn as their powers yanked away. A world that thought it was bulletproof collapses in a flash. The signs are here, the warning's been sounded, yet so many shrug it off, living like nothing's up, like the world will keep spinning as is. Picture it, folks in Noah's day, eating, drinking, planning weddings, business as usual, until the flood hit. Same deal now. People figure their 401ks, their fancy homes, their cushy retirements will see them through. But Daniel's prophecy says different. That rock's not waiting. It's coming whether they see it or not. Your savings might buy you a comfy recliner or a trip to Florida, maybe 1,000 miles south for some sun, but it won't stop what's barreling down. This world's systems are like a rickety bridge over a 100-foot drop, impressive until it snaps. God's kingdom? That's solid ground, stretching forever. You can't straddle both. Choose the rock, and you're set. Not just for now, but for eternity. Ignore it, and you're betting on sand. The clock's ticking, the shift's near. Where do you stand? Go on forever, just as it is. That's what people think. They prioritize money over faith, luxury over righteousness, short-term wins over eternal security. But the wise, those who grasp Daniel's prophecy, won't be fooled. They see what's unfolding, spot the signs, and get ready. Not by hoarding cash, but by rooting their lives in the truth of God's kingdom. This coming kingdom isn't like man's empires. It's not fueled by greed, propped up by power grabs, or tied to shaky financial markets. God himself builds it, and it'll never crumble. The question isn't if this shift will happen. It's happening now. The question is, are you ready? Because when that final moment hits, when the rock smashes the statue's feet, there'll be no more time to prepare. Those banking on this world's fleeting treasures will realize too late they've been chasing a mirage. Are you watching? Do you get what's coming? Because what's next will flip the world upside down. Everything's barreling toward one endpoint. Every crisis, every power shift, every headline, it's all steering us to a moment foretold thousands of years ago. Daniel's vision is crystal clear, unfolding before us, yet most folks stay blind. Why? They're too tangled up in this world, betting everything on a system that's about to cave. Their trust lies in wealth, power, human setups. They figure as long as they've got money, stability, success, they're golden. But Daniel's prophecy lays it bare. The world we know stands on a crumbling base. This final phase, the iron and clay kingdom, can't hold up. It's weak, wobbly, and the rock's coming to knock it flat. Still, people keep chasing riches. They build lives around wealth, comfort, luxury, convinced they've got time, that the world will keep spinning like always. But in a heartbeat, it can all shift. Think back. How often in history have folks felt secure, only to lose it all overnight? Financial crashes have turned millionaires into paupers in a day, fortunes vanishing faster than a 50-mile-an-hour wind. Powerful leaders toppled to nothing, human powers fragile. This world's wealth, temporary, the luxury so many crave, a flimsy illusion of permanence. Those who trust in it live in a dream, not reality. Jesus nailed this in Luke 12:16-21 with the rich man who stockpiled wealth, thinking he was set. God's reply, "You fool! This very night your life will be demanded from you, then who'll get what you've piled up?" That's today's mindset. People act like they're in charge, like their money, possessions, success will carry them through. They don't see it. Everything they're stacking is about to wash away. Daniel's prophecy isn't just about kingdoms and empires, it's the end of human control. The moment's closing in when the only thing that'll count is where you stand with God. And it's nearer than most realize. This collapse isn't just economic or political, it's spiritual. It's when all the fake stuff gets exposed, when those leaning on worldly things see they've built on air. The unprepared will be stunned. No heads up, no last-second fixes, no chance to shuffle priorities. When the rock hits, it's instant. Those who've staked their lives on temporary junk will watch it turn to dust. Savings gone, homes worthless, status erased. But those anchored in God's kingdom, they won't flinch. While the world shakes, they'll stand firm. See, the wise don't prep by stuffing mattresses with cash or betting on Wall Street. They align with a kingdom that's not of this earth, one that doesn't rise and fall with stock tickers or election cycles. It's eternal, rock solid, 100% sure. The world's chasing a ghost, racing for dollars, dreaming of penthouses, measuring success in bank accounts. But Daniel says it's a dead end, that iron and clay mix. It's us, strong in spots, frail in others, a mess that can't last. And the rock's not waiting. History's littered with examples. Empires that ruled continents, gold flowing, armies stretching miles, now just ruins. Our time's no different. Folks think their 401ks, their fancy cars, their cozy retirements will save them. But when the system folds, what then? Jesus asked. Who's your master? Money's a fickle one. Here today, gone tomorrow. God's kingdom, that's forever. The signs are screaming. Market dips, global rifts, uncertainty spiking. Yet people shrug, keep running the same old race. Daniel's truth cuts through. It's ending. Where's your trust, dust or rock? While the world falls apart, while others grieve over lost riches and luxuries, those who grasp prophecy will stand steady. They'll know this moment was always on its way, that it's not chaos, it's fulfillment. They'll be ready. So here's the big question. Are you? Are you living aware that everything around you is temporary, or are you still clutching this world's treasures, thinking they'll endure? Time's ticking, folks. Soon, the illusion of security will shatter for good. We're teetering on the edge of a massive shift. Governments scramble to keep control. Economies wobble like a house of cards. Societies split wider every day. People feel it. Even those clueless about prophecy sense something's brewing. What they don't get is that Daniel's vision already spelled it out. What's happening? What's next? The final chapter of human history is unfolding right now. The statue's feet, iron mixed with clay, picture a world scrambling to hold together, but it's failing. The harder it pushes for unity, the more division flares. Leaders vow stability, yet chaos multiplies. This isn't random, it's prophecy playing out. Still, most folks chase wealth, convinced money's their shield. They see the financial system cracking, markets dipping 500 points, savings shrinking, yet they trust it anyway. Nations crumble and they still bet on human leaders. Why? Deception's strong. 2 Corinthians 4:4 nails it. The God of this age has blinded the minds of unbelievers so they cannot see the light of the gospel that displays the glory of Christ. It's a deep fog. Even as this world's foundations buckle, many cling to the idea of a human fix, leaders, financial tricks, political deals. They tell themselves it's just another cycle, that normal's around the corner. They're dead wrong. The iron and clay feet don't lead to another human empire. This shift isn't from one nation to the next. It's from man's rule to God's. The rock Daniel saw won't just rattle the system, it'll smash it to bits. When that hits, those who've ignored the truth will have nothing to stand on. Here's the twist. Before the final crash, one last lie will rise. A fake fix, a global push, promising unity, security, peace. Revelation 13 warns of a beast demanding loyalty, controlling who buys and sells, a system strangling commerce down to the last dollar. A false leader will strut out, posing as the world's savior, and the world will buy it, desperate, scared, hooked on wealth and luxury that's vanished. They'll grab at anything promising a comeback, but those tuned into Daniel's prophecy won't fall for it. They'll see through the smokescreen, knowing this isn't the answer. It's the final test. While the world chases a hollow hope, the true kingdom's gearing up. A kingdom not built on cash, power, or human hands. It's eternal, set by God himself. So where will you stand? Will you swallow the lie, banking on short-term stability, or hold fast, knowing the real change is still ahead? When the rock slams those feet, there'll be no more time to pick. It'll hit, and you'll either be ready or you won't. The world's hurtling toward one endpoint, every tremor, every crisis, every power grab, nudging us closer. Daniel's vision isn't a dusty tale. It's now. Most miss it, too tied to a system about to tank. They think their nest eggs, maybe $50,000 tucked away, will save them. They're wrong. This iron and clay mess can't hold. It's brittle as a dry twig. People keep chasing the American dream, big houses, fancy cars, a cushy retirement 1,000 miles south in Florida. But it's a mirage. History's littered with secure empires, Rome, Babylon, that crashed overnight. Today's no different. Jesus warned us, don't be fooled. People in Noah's day partied right up to the flood, normal till it wasn't. Same game now. Folks figure their savings, their status, their stuff will last. But when the rock drops, it's game over for that illusion. The wise prep differently, not stacking gold, but standing on God's truth. That kingdom's not shaken by Wall Street plunges or election chaos. It's forever. If this is clicking for you, if Daniel's prophecy is lighting up like never before, share this with someone who needs it before the clock runs out, because what's next is the most earth-shaking moment yet. The signs are screaming: division, instability, deception, time's short, the rock's near. Are you clinging to dust or rooted on the rock? The decisive moment in human history is closing in. The world teeters on the brink of the greatest shift ever, yet most folks haven't a clue. They go about their days, chasing wealth, craving luxury, hunting comfort and security in stuff that'll soon be worthless. They don't see the storm brewing, don't grasp that the system they lean on is caving under their feet. But those with eyes to see, those who get Daniel's prophecy, know the truth. They know time's running out, that what's coming isn't another human empire, not another rise and fall of earthly kingdoms, but something bigger. A divine kingdom is about to take root. Daniel 2:44 spells it out. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. This isn't a figure of speech, not some poetic symbol. It's real. The world's systems, financial empires, political powers, all mankind's handiwork, will crash. In their place, a new kingdom will rise, built not on wealth or might, but on righteousness. It's ruled not by men, but by God himself. Here's the kicker. It's coming, ready or not. For thousands of years, people have stacked their civilizations on greed, on chasing riches, on piling up money and luxury. What's it gotten us? Peace? True security? No, just more corruption, more division, more ruin. History proves it time and again. Every great kingdom, no matter how mighty, has tumbled. Every man-made system has eventually buckled. Now we're watching the final act play out. The feet of iron and clay can't hold. This system folks trust is too flimsy to stand. Nations wobble, financial order crumbles, stocks dropping 1,000 points in a blink. Conflicts flare worldwide. These aren't flukes. They're prophecy coming alive, signals the end is near. When the rock hits, there'll be no heads up. Jesus said it in Matthew 24:37-39. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. People were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. They knew nothing until the flood came and swept them away. That's us right now. The world thinks life will hum along. Folks plan retirements, sink cash into businesses, build wealth, lock in luxury. Sure, they've got years left. Just like Noah's neighbors, it'll hit fast. When it does, the unprepared won't have a way out. That rock smashing the statue, it's Christ's return, his kingdom rising. It's when earthly power gets wiped out, when illusions shatter, when only those grounded in truth stand tall. So, where do you stand? Are you trusting this world's goodies, money, financial security, political stability, or do you see what's ahead? Daniel's final prophecy isn't just a warning, it's a promise. A promise that human power will end, deception will be laid bare, and God's kingdom will rise, unstoppable. When that moment lands, all that matters is if you're ready. Because once it starts, there's no rewind. This isn't some old tale. Daniel's prophecy is a roadmap for what's next, unfolding live right now. Every empire he predicted has come and gone. Today, we're in the last stretch. The iron and clay feet, a divided world, a system collapsing under its own weight. But the clincher is what follows. The rock, God's kingdom, slamming down. Most don't see it. They're busy, stockpiling for a future that won't come, dreaming of a cushy life 500 miles south in the sun. They miss the cracks, governments faltering, economies teetering, divisions widening. It's not chaos, it's destiny. The rock doesn't mess around. It'll crush every human setup, every institution, leaving no trace. Think of Rome, sprawling across continents, gold flowing, armies marching miles, now rubble. Our world's no sturdier. Folks bet on savings, on homes, on comfort, but it's sand underfoot. When it strikes, the unprepared will gape as their treasures, dollars, luxuries, plans, vanish like smoke. Jesus warned us Noah's crowd partied till the water rose. Same deal today. People figure they'll dodge the flood. They won't. This shift's not optional, it's locked in. The rock's not a maybe, it's a certainty, bigger than any 100-foot wave. Are you clinging to cash that'll rot, or standing on a kingdom that lasts? Time's short. The signs are loud: instability, collapse, a world on edge. Daniel's truth cuts through. It's here. Ready or not, the rock's coming. Every source of wealth and power people have leaned on will be destroyed, and in its place, an everlasting kingdom will rise. The question isn't if this will happen, it's already in motion. The question is, are you ready? Are you building your life on this world's stuff, money, success, temporary security, or are you preparing for the only kingdom that'll last forever? When that final moment hits, there'll be no second chances, no way to backtrack and fix what you ignored. The time to get ready is now.